Welcome to Don't Look Up, where we pull back the veil on the greatest cover-ups of our time. Today, we dive deep, literally, into one of America's most iconic landscapes, the Grand Canyon. But this isn't just a story about scenic views and hiking trails. Beneath its stunning cliffs and winding river lie mysteries that mainstream history avoids like the plague. Hidden chambers, government restrictions, military surveillance. What are they really protecting? Disclaimer: the following content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The theories and claims presented are speculative and not endorsed as fact. Viewer discretion is advised. The Grand Canyon is a 277-mile-long chasm carved by the Colorado River over millions of years. That's the official story. Tourists flock to the South Rim for selfies and hikes. But what's left out is even more fascinating. Areas of the canyon are completely off-limits to the public, hidden behind a veil of government regulation and alleged danger zones. These forbidden regions often have no clear reason for being blocked. Why would a natural landmark have secret areas? What are they hiding? Is the narrative of simple erosion masking something deeper? Perhaps buried history that challenges our entire understanding of ancient civilizations? That's where this story begins. In a place as vast as the Grand Canyon, it's not surprising that some areas are hard to reach. But that's different from being completely restricted. Places like the Kincaid Cave or the Tonto Plateau have been allegedly blocked off by the government. Reports suggest they are patrolled or monitored, with signs warning of prosecution for trespassers. When citizens try to hike or camp near these restricted zones, they're either turned around or escorted out. Why? Some speculate these locations hold archaeological finds, ancient ruins, or even hidden entrances into vast underground networks. The secrecy only fuels the mystery. In 1909, the Arizona Gazette published a startling article that would go on to fuel over a century of controversy. The headline claimed that a man named G.E. Kincaid, exploring the Colorado River for the Smithsonian Institution, had discovered a vast underground city within the Grand Canyon. What he allegedly found wasn't just another cave. It was a complex that resembled ancient Egyptian architecture filled with mummies, hieroglyphics, statues of gods like Osiris and Anubis, and artifacts made of copper and gold. According to the article, Kincaid described walking down a passage that extended nearly a mile underground. He reported rooms filled with cross-legged mummies wrapped in bark, ceremonial weapons, and what looked like tablets covered in indecipherable symbols. One chamber, he claimed, was a temple hall, with a Buddha-like figure at the center, raising even more questions about how Asian and Egyptian motifs could appear in prehistoric America. The article stated that the Smithsonian had taken over the site. However, when researchers and journalists attempted to follow up, they hit a wall. The Smithsonian has repeatedly denied any involvement, stating there are no records of Kincaid, his expedition, or any such discovery. No maps, no coordinates, no photos, just silence. Skeptics argue the story was a hoax, perhaps part of early 20th century sensationalism. But if so, why has the exact location mentioned in the article, the region around the Tower of Ra and Shiva Temple, been placed under strict federal protection? That area is now off-limits to the public and heavily monitored. Coincidence? Many believe the story was real, and that the Smithsonian either covered it up or confiscated the evidence to protect mainstream historical narratives. After all, if ancient Egyptians or another advanced civilization reached the Americas long before Columbus, it would upend centuries of academic teachings. Kincaid's story isn't just about one explorer, it's about a bigger mystery. Why are so many parts of the Grand Canyon restricted? What truths are buried in those rocks? And who decides what history we're allowed to remember? Even today, people try to locate Kincaid's lost cave, but it's officially off-limits. What are they hiding in there? The Smithsonian Institution has long been at the center of conspiracy theories surrounding hidden history, particularly in relation to the Grand Canyon. One of the most persistent claims is that the Smithsonian actively suppressed the discovery of ancient artifacts that didn't align with accepted historical narratives. This includes the famous 1909 account of Egyptian-style relics allegedly found in a cave by explorer G.E. Kincaid. According to the article, the Smithsonian took possession of the artifacts, but officially, they deny any record of the expedition, Kincaid, or the cave itself. This has led many to believe that the Smithsonian plays a role in concealing discoveries that could challenge conventional archaeology. Some theorists claim the institution has confiscated giant human skeletons, advanced ancient technology, and artifacts from lost civilizations to to maintain the current timeline of human history. One theory suggests that revealing these truths would upend religious beliefs, educational systems, and political structures worldwide. Others argue it's about controlling the narrative, the power, and ultimately, our understanding of human origins. Whether the Smithsonian is a guardian of truth or a gatekeeper of secrets, one thing is clear. Too many coincidences surround these missing artifacts for it to be dismissed entirely. One of the most mysterious and underreported aspects of the Grand Canyon is the presence of military activity in and around restricted zones. While the area is mostly known for its natural beauty and tourism, there are certain sections, particularly around the so-called no-fly zones and unexplored caverns, that are off-limits to the public and even researchers. In some cases, sightings of military personnel, helicopters, and unmarked vehicles have been reported by hikers and locals alike. Why would the military be involved in a national park? Some believe they are guarding something far more significant than just fragile ecosystems. Theories range from hidden ancient civilizations and underground bases, to entrances to vast cave systems that house classified operations. The idea that there are installations beneath the Grand Canyon, tied to secret government or extraterrestrial projects, has only added fuel to these beliefs. Furthermore, satellite images sometimes reveal blurred or blacked out areas within the canyon, a rare move for a tourist location. Is the military simply protecting sensitive geological areas, or are they part of a larger effort to keep something hidden from the public? For years, eyewitnesses have reported mysterious sightings of military helicopters flying over restricted parts of the Grand Canyon, often without explanation or visible identification. These aren't just occasional flybys. Locals and hikers describe frequent low-altitude patrols in areas that are supposed to be off-limits. In some cases, the helicopters appear suddenly, flying in tight formations before disappearing behind the canyon walls. The FAA enforces strict no-fly zones in certain regions of the canyon, supposedly to preserve the natural environment. But the consistent presence of military aircraft raises eyebrows. What are they watching or protecting? Some believe these helicopters are patrolling entrances to underground facilities, ancient ruins, or sealed-off caverns. Others claim they're conducting surveillance to prevent civilians from getting too close to areas the government wants to keep quiet. There have even been reports of people being approached or warned after photographing or attempting to explore these zones. The secrecy surrounding these flights has only intensified theories that something significant is being hidden within the canyon's depths, something the military doesn't want the public to see. One of the strangest phenomena reported in and around the Grand Canyon is the existence of so-called radio silence zones areas, where radios, GPS units, and even satellite phones mysteriously stop working. While the rugged terrain can certainly interfere with signals, many believe these dropouts are far too consistent and concentrated in specific regions to be accidental. Hikers and explorers often describe entering certain zones where all forms of communication go completely dead. No signal, no static, just silence. What makes this more suspicious is that these areas frequently overlap with regions that are already marked as restricted or off-limits by the federal government. Some speculate that underground facilities, advanced military technology, or even electromagnetic field manipulation could be responsible. There's even talk of ancient tech left behind by unknown civilizations that could still be emitting energy fields powerful enough to scramble modern electronics. Theories grow darker when people report strange feelings of disorientation, time loss, or unease in these zones, almost as if something is deliberately interfering with their perception and devices. Is this just nature playing tricks, or a calculated effort to hide what's really out there? Either way, these radio silence zones remain one of the Grand Canyon's most chilling mysteries. For decades, the Grand Canyon has been at the center of rumors involving media blackouts and government-controlled narratives. Researchers, hikers, and even journalists claim that any discoveries or unusual events are swiftly buried, ignored, or debunked by mainstream outlets. Some who've tried to publish findings or photos online report their content being flagged, removed, or even shadow banned. There's a persistent theory that major media organizations work hand-in-hand with federal agencies to suppress anything that might challenge the official history. In a few well-documented cases, researchers claim they were visited by officials, warning them to stop digging, both literally and metaphorically. Drone footage from certain areas often goes mysteriously missing or shows signs of tampering. These patterns of silence fuel speculation that what happens in the canyon is tightly monitored and controlled. Why such heavy oversight? Theories range from the protection of ancient alien relics to secret underground bases. Whatever the reason, when it comes to the Grand Canyon, the lack of coverage often says more than what's reported. And in the end, silence might be the loudest clue of all. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying this deep dive into hidden history. Your support helps expose what others won't talk about. Over the years, countless visitors to the Grand Canyon have captured unusual images, structures resembling ancient ruins, mysterious entrances in canyon walls, or even strange lights in the sky. But what's truly baffling is how often this photographic evidence disappears. Users report that their photos either fail to upload, get removed from social media platforms, or show unexplained data corruption. Some amateur explorers claim their camera equipment malfunctions specifically near restricted areas. Others say drones they sent into remote sections of the canyon either lost signal or returned with footage mysteriously wiped. Even more concerning are testimonies of people contacted by unnamed officials asking them to delete their photos for national security reasons. In a few rare cases, entire online photo albums vanished overnight, without warning or explanation. Mainstream outlets tend to dismiss these claims, labeling them as hoaxes or digital errors. But why the pattern of suppression? If there's nothing to hide, why remove the images? This persistent erasure suggests there's more in the Grand Canyon than we're being told. And the photos that vanish might be the ones that show the truth hiding in plain sight. Beneath the surface of the Grand Canyon lies a mystery shrouded in secrecy, alleged excavation projects that the public never hears about. Whispers of covert digs began after the 1909 newspaper article about G.E. Kincaid's discovery of a subterranean city filled with Egyptian and Tibetan artifacts. Independent researchers and hikers claim to have witnessed military trucks and unmarked vehicles transporting equipment into the canyon. Helicopters are seen hovering over areas closed to the public, while strange night operations reportedly occur under the cover of darkness. These aren't your typical archaeological digs. They're locked down, guarded, and strictly off-limits. There are even reports of sudden closures of hiking trails and campsites, supposedly due to safety concerns, right before activity ramps up in nearby canyons. Some believe these digs are unearthing ancient technologies or lost civilizations that don't align with our accepted history. But where are the findings? Why the silence? It's believed that these secret excavations are overseen by government agencies or private contractors with deep ties to classified research. What are they digging for? And more importantly, what have they found? One of the most controversial and mind-bending theories tied to the Grand Canyon is the idea that an alien base lies hidden deep within its restricted zones. This theory has gained traction among UFO researchers and conspiracy theorists who point to consistent sightings of strange lights, silent aircraft, and unexplained electromagnetic interference. Some whistleblowers claim the US government knows about and even cooperates with extraterrestrial beings operating within the canyon. The remote and rugged terrain provides perfect cover for underground bases, shielded from both civilian access and satellite surveillance. These bases, it's said, are not just research stations, but fully operational facilities where human and alien interactions occur. Adding fuel to the fire, local Native American legends speak of star people and ancient beings that live below the earth, long before modern humans. Could these myths be rooted in truth? Multiple eyewitnesses have reported glowing orbs emerging from canyon walls or shooting into the sky at impossible speeds. Yet, these reports are never investigated seriously. Is the Grand Canyon merely a natural wonder, or is it guarding secrets far beyond our understanding? And if something is down there, who's really in control? If the Grand Canyon once housed ancient civilizations, as many believe, the question arises, did they possess technology far beyond what we imagine for that time? Some theorists argue that artifacts and structures reported in early expeditions suggest the presence of lost high-technology tools and machines that could cut stone with laser-like precision, generate energy, or even manipulate gravity. Kincaid's discovery in 1909, allegedly of a vast underground city with metal objects, hieroglyphs, and advanced engineering, hints at such a civilization. Mainstream archaeology dismissed the find, yet reports of rooms carved with impossible symmetry, unknown alloys, and magnetically charged relics continue to surface. Researchers have pointed to ancient tunnels now sealed off that align with celestial events or are built with mathematical accuracy, rivaling that of modern engineering. Could these be remnants of a culture with knowledge passed down or given by beings not of this earth? Some speculate this advanced technology may still be hidden deep within the canyon, and that agencies like the Smithsonian and military forces guard it closely. If such technology were rediscovered today, it could revolutionize human civilization, or upend the power structures that benefit from keeping it hidden. What's buried in the canyon may not just be history, it could be humanity's lost future. Some believe the Grand Canyon isn't just a natural wonder, it's a spiritual and energetic hotspot. Researchers and mystics alike have pointed to reports of energy vortexes, areas where the Earth's magnetic field behaves unusually, creating heightened electromagnetic activity. These vortexes are said to amplify consciousness, alter perception, and even enable interdimensional contact. Several hikers and explorers have described feelings of euphoria, dizziness, or time distortion when passing through certain canyon areas. Compasses spin erratically, electronic devices fail, and even wildlife seems to avoid specific zones. These anomalies, often written off as natural magnetic fluctuations, are believed by some to be evidence of ancient energy systems, perhaps used by forgotten civilizations to tap into the Earth's power grid. Could this be why access to certain parts of the canyon is so heavily restricted? Electromagnetic fields may also explain reports of glowing orbs, strange lights, and phantom sounds that have been documented for decades. Some theorists argue that the Grand Canyon may sit on a ley line, connecting it to other sacred sites across the globe, acting as a global energetic hub. If true, the Grand Canyon isn't just geologically significant, it could be spiritually and technologically powerful on a level we're only beginning to understand. Deep within a restricted zone of the Grand Canyon lies a formation known as the Isis Temple. While it's officially classified as a natural rock formation, many believe it resembles an ancient step pyramid. Its name, curiously, ties directly to Egyptian mythology. This isn't the only structure with an Egyptian name. There's also the Tower of Set, Osiris Temple, and Ra Shrine. Why would early explorers and cartographers use these names unless they saw something worth comparing? Some alternative historians propose these aren't just symbolic names, but direct links to ancient Egyptian colonies that once thrived here. And the structures they left behind are now camouflaged as natural. Some older maps of the Grand Canyon include trails, cave entrances, and landmarks that no longer appear on modern maps. What changed? Are these locations being erased intentionally? Explorers who've obtained old maps have tried to trace these routes, only to find new fences, altered landscapes, or sudden detours imposed by the National Park Service. The truth may lie in what was found there: artifacts, chambers, or entrances to vast underground complexes that the government doesn't want us to know about. Every year, people go missing in national parks, including the Grand Canyon. While most are attributed to accidents or getting lost, some vanish under highly suspicious circumstances. Experienced hikers disappear without a trace. Search and rescue teams report strange patterns: gear left untouched, no signs of struggle, and sudden loss of radio contact in specific zones. Some believe these are the result of hidden entrances, accidental or intentional, leading to underground facilities or ancient passageways. Others think it's something even darker, that there are forces, perhaps non-human, guarding what lies below. Stories about underground cities beneath the Grand Canyon didn't begin with the 1909 Gazette article. Native American legends, early settler tales, and modern whistleblowers all reference vast subterranean complexes. Some claim these cities are still occupied, by descendants of ancient beings, or by shadowy military projects. There's even speculation that these cities are part of a larger tunnel system stretching across North America, connecting hotspots like Area 51, Dulce Base, and Cheyenne Mountain. What lies beneath could rewrite human history, and that may be why the entrances are so heavily guarded. The Grand Canyon may have connections to the lost civilization of Tartaria, a global empire erased from history. Tartarian architecture was grand, durable, and often included underground complexes. Some explorers claim the structures hidden in the Grand Canyon resemble these ancient styles, with high arches, megalithic blocks, and metallic alloys that defy explanation. Could this be another Tartarian outpost? If so, it would link the American Southwest to a global network of advanced knowledge that has been systematically suppressed. The Anunnaki, ancient deities said to come from the stars, feature prominently in Sumerian myths. Some theorists argue that the canyon's oldest rock formations may hide inscriptions or relics tied to these beings. Similarities between Sumerian and Hopi symbols have been noted by independent researchers. If the Anunnaki truly traveled the Earth, establishing outposts for mining or genetic experiments, the Grand Canyon, with its rich mineral veins and hidden caverns, would be a perfect site. Could this be why it remains locked away? Long before explorers and conspiracies, the indigenous peoples of the region, like the Hopi, Zuni, and Havasupai, spoke of beings who came from the sky and retreated underground. These aren't vague myths. They contain specific descriptions of subterranean cities, star travelers, and giant beings who once ruled the land. The Hopi speak of the ant people, who helped them survive past cataclysms by taking them into vast underground dwellings. The Zuni tell stories of portals that open only at specific times. Are these allegories, or veiled histories of encounters with ancient, possibly non-human civilizations now buried in the canyon? These stories were passed down for generations and align with many modern theories. But mainstream archaeology still ignores them. Off the record, some park rangers have shared eerie stories of strange lights, voices from deep caves, and sudden geological changes that defy explanation. But officially, they stay silent. Why? Many believe rangers are briefed on what not to discuss with the public. Some have even left their posts abruptly, citing unexplained stress or vague personal reasons. What secrets are they guarding, and at what cost? The Grand Canyon isn't just a natural wonder. It might be the greatest buried mystery on Earth. From ancient civilizations and forbidden tech to possible alien involvement and military lockdowns, it's a nexus of historical suppression. Why is the government so invested in keeping certain areas off limits? What truths could change our understanding of human history forever? As we've seen throughout this video, too many pieces don't add up. We deserve to ask questions and demand answers. Because truth, no matter how deeply buried, always finds a way to the surface. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and always remember, don't look up.